Welcome to Park and Listen, the official monthly podcast of the Hyde Park Central School District. Each month, we bring you timely updates on school district news, policy, changes, and important announcements straight from the source. Stay informed about student activities, student highlights, academic achievements, and special events happening across our schools. We'll also share behind-the-scenes insights from district leaders, staff, and students, giving you a closer look at the changes and initiatives shaping our community. So welcome to another episode of Park and Listen, everybody. I go by the name of Mike. I'm your tech guy here at Hyde Park Central School District. I got three awesome students with me today as we are going to speak about the core values of the district in their day-to-day lives. And first we have Aiden, who is a senior here. What's going on, sir?
Pretty good day. You?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have Sean. He is a junior here at FDR High School. What's going on, sir?
I'm pretty good today.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
He's a little nervous. It's okay. And then last but not least, we have Allison, who's a freshman who is super new, super new to the high school. So everything here is a culture shock coming from middle school to high school. So how's that going so far?
It's going great, honestly.
Yeah.
High school was very overwhelming at first, but I've slowly gotten into it more and more.
Hey, listen, it's an adjustment period, but you're going to get it. You're going to be great. So with that being said, I'm gonna throw this over to Aiden. He's going to be our main host today. If it gets out of control, I'll jump in. So Aiden, I'm trusting you to...
I won't fumble the ball.
You will not fumble the ball. And it is all you.
All right. You guys want to name one core value you can think of until one of us slips up?
Respect.
Celebrating diversity.
I was gonna say loyalty,
Safety.
Being a safe environment for others.
dedication,
Discipline.
Holding others accountable for excellence and having others hold you accountable.
Intelligence.
Striving to be a good person to others.
All right. Like out of all of those, which ones do you guys think are like the best, like the main ones?
Well, I think the argument could be said that all of them are the main ones, since all of them are very important things.
It's actually not. That's not that bad. Sean, what about you? Your opinion?
I don't want to be biased and say my own answers.
I mean, well, see, like that's good though, because if you pick your own answers, that means you believe in them the most. And that probably means it resides with you the most. Based off the ones you picked, like which ones do you think like apply to you the most?
Respect.
Like in a day-to-day, how would you say like respect matters to you?
When you have respect towards people, you can like communicate a whole lot better and not disagree.
Can you give me like an example? If we were just like talking or something, like kind of like now, how would that be for you?
Like if I insulted you while we were talking, you probably wouldn't want to care of what I had to say to you. But if I was respectful towards you, you'd probably care a lot more about what I had to say.
Yeah, I would agree. What about you? What's your thoughts on respect?
Respect is very important. I think it allows us to communicate with each other better because it allows us to be civil towards one another. And without that civility, there's a power imbalance that can be created.
Do you guys think like respect should be like given or earned, or do you guys think it matters to like who you're talking to or like their position?
I think a base level should be automatically given, and then from there on out, the person should earn more, and they could also lose more respect.
Absolutely, I agree.
But like, still, do you think like it applies to like who you're talking to, or like what their position is in your life, like your parents, your teachers, principals, stuff like that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think for me, like a big thing's like dedication, because if you're doing something, you should like give it 100%, or sometimes a little more, because like there's no reason to do anything just like a little bit. You might as well just give it 100% and just like get it done right the first time.
Absolutely, I agree. I think being able to provide a safe space for students to exist is really, really important.
What would you consider like a safe space?
I think one that doesn't discriminate against people based on, it could be anything, religion, ethnicity, race, or just maybe they are interested in a certain thing and other people don't like that they're interested in that thing.
So
And
like an environment where like people like enjoy the same things as you.
yeah, I also think that going back to respect, that a baseline of respect should be given to everyone. And just because you disagree with either a person's beliefs or ideas that they have, that shouldn't suddenly take away their right to be happy and be able to enjoy those things by themselves.
What are your thoughts on a safe space, Sean?
I think it's important because when you know that you're safe, you'll be a lot like calmer and happier and just at an optimal level to get your stuff done.
Where for yourself do you consider like a safe space?
When I'm alone and able to think by myself, there's no judgment from anybody else. There's no one peering over my shoulder going, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's just me by myself.
Where do you feel that you could find a safe space in order to get away from all the noise?
For me, sometimes I go to my teacher's rooms at lunch. It's a good place to get a lot of work done and like sometimes get like some like one-on-one help, like if you're ever stuck on something. But if not that, definitely the library. Like lunchroom's always loud, crowded, people are talking about stuff. It's gonna just drag you in. So like to really focus, like a quiet environment would be like a teacher's room or like the library. That's where I would go.
And speaking on that, a safe space isn't always just going to a quiet place or, trying to get feelings out of your own mind and, person. But do you feel more, and, this question applies to all of you, do you guys feel like a safe space could be a close friend, family member, or a teacher?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like it's good to have somebody you can like trust or like talk to, like to every place you go to. Like it's always good to have that one teacher. It's always good to have that one friend. And then it's always good to have that like one family member, so you always have like, no matter where you are, there's always that like one person you can talk to.
Yeah, having a good support system, having people that you can rely on is incredibly important. And when you don't have that, those feelings sort of build on themselves and can accumulate over time.
I agree with both what Allison and Aiden said.
How do you bring that back to your core values?
Um, you know, I said for me like loyalty and dedication, because like for me, a quiet environment is where I get like most of my schoolwork done or like work I have in general. So I'm dedicated to that. And then like when it comes to like people, that's like loyalty, like friends, family, and stuff like that.
I think that providing a safe space is important for celebrating diversity, because if you feel that you are unsafe because you feel that you're different from other people, then those differences can't be celebrated, they can't be accepted, because you won't feel safe.
So since we talked about like our personal core values, how do you think they apply to like our schools ones of responsible citizen, critical thinker, adaptive innovator, effective communicator, and confident learner? Portrait of a learner.
Respect was one of our core values, and I think that does tie into effective communicator because when you have respect, your conversations with other people go a lot better, smoother, and you're gonna be at a higher morale when you respect the person you're talking to.
Yeah, I agree. And then for like uh even with that, like with respect, you can build like relationships with other people and inside the school as well, and teachers and security guards and people like that. And it it could be beneficial.
Since we talked about respect, I guess I'll circle back to what I was previously saying with diversity and inclusion, that I think ties in with being a confident learner, because having a space where you're able to express your ideas makes you more confident and more able to learn, because learning happens, I think, learning, I think, sometimes is difficult for some people when they don't have the self-esteem to say, hey, I can do this. Hey, I'm able to do this. And oftentimes I see kids, they struggle a lot with their self-esteem, and the expectation and idea that they can't do it gets built over and over during their school years, and eventually they feel like they can't do it at all. And I think having a space where you can say, hey, I don't feel like I'm capable of doing this, and not getting mocked for it, I think is very important to be able to learn properly.
Yeah, I would agree. And then also, like, kind of like also like teamwork too. There's a lot of classes where you have to actually like work together to get stuff done. Like me and Sean are in the WCP classes. Even though we're three separate classes, we all work onto one thing and like one goal. So it's a lot of collaborative work and stuff like that. Like my class goes down to Sean's class every Friday to see what we done that week and what's going on between the two classes and just stuff like that. And also, a lot of classes require partner work too, so you have to be collaborative as well and have some sort of respect for the person you're working with.
In science classes, sometimes when you're doing a lab, you get partnered up, and when you're partnered up, it's not like two people are working well. Sometimes it's like the partners have different roles that they have to fulfill. So if they're both not fulfilling their role, or they're just trying to do everything at once, then the lab might not go too good.
And what about when you come to a disagreement working with those partners?
Your lab experience isn't going to be too good, and you'll have to come to a conclusion or a resolution to succeed.
Group assignments are very difficult because you're working with people of all sorts of levels of knowledge, and some people are more controlling than others, and that can make it harder to work as a cohesive unit. But it can also make it easier because you have people knowledgeable in many different areas and can pull from many different areas. And that is incredibly helpful when you're working on something that may require different backgrounds of experience.
I would like also agree. I took chemistry last year, and there was a lot of lab partner work, and I almost partnered with everybody in that class. I could definitely say I had some partners I did like and enjoy, and some that I didn't. Because also like tie it back to like dedication. Like some people just want a science credit, but some people want to earn the science credit. So you could see how somebody who like strives to go like above and beyond can actually like see the results, and they'll see it in their grades, and you'll see it in their attitude, and you'll just see it like wherever they go to, because they know that they want to do something, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna do it right.
You know, the word collaboration is it ties into the core values and then also the portrait of the learner greatly, because in collaboration you have to demonstrate integrity, respect, compassion, and empathy. You also have to be adaptable. You have to be a critical thinker. So, you know, the word collaborative was such a very powerful word you just used in this whole context, because it ties into everything that we're speaking about right now.
Yeah, I would agree, because being able to collaborate, even when you have like a person you want to work with and not want to work with, it tests your skills and your mentality and everything. Because maybe I don't want the person that does no work in my group, but even if it ends up happening, I'm gonna make it work, or we're both gonna make it work. Or if I end up going into a group with somebody who wants to work with me, we're still gonna get it done, and it's gonna be good work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're in a group of 5, there's 5 different ideas, but one goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think like even just in school in general, being able, or not even school, just like life in general, just being able to collaborate with somebody or like work with somebody helps so much. Because the more people you have to work on something, the more ideas, the more angles you'll have, and there's the more people you talk to, the more you'll learn, and like just even that, like even if you're working like a new group, you're meeting somebody new. The more people you know, the better. But also, it's quality over quantity too. So, uh, based on everything we just like talked about, there's like some student scenarios I have. Scenario one is a student may feel that students who excel more in academics are recognized more than those who excel in arts, like visual performance. And the question is, what would you do for the student or tell the student that would make them continue to preserve their passion for music and art?
I would tell them that I think
Well, you and me were both in band last year,
was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I've This is the first year I'm not taking band since 5th grade. Um, I would say, I would just tell them that it. I would say it doesn't matter if you're like recognized or not. It just matters if you care about it and if you want to do it for your own enjoyment and like personal success.
There, there's like more to activities and arts and academics than being recognized and actually like doing stuff with your skills in academics and arts. I'd say is more important than just recognition.
Yeah, hearing you guys talk about it, um, I'm gonna be honest. This is something that I sort of struggle with. Um, ha- Recognition is something that I think a lot of people crave and desire, and because we all want to be seen. So I can very much sympathize with the student in this situation, even though they're not real. But the I think that, like you guys said, ultimately it shouldn't be based off of external validation or recognition from other people. It should be based on what you enjoy.
Yeah, I would have to like still agree with that. I think even like for normal grades alone, it's something, even though like it receives more recognition, I feel like it's still something that nobody but you would really strive to enjoy more. Because somebody who enjoys music is going to try their hardest music. Somebody who enjoys getting good grades is going to try their hardest for their grades. So them not being able to receive the same recognition for maybe putting in the same amount of work is a little inconvenient or like not going to help them. But if you have a passion for it, I would say just keep going.
Something that I just thought about, I think that even if the recognition is of varying degrees, if there's even one person who's inspired by your art or really takes it to heart, I think that's enough, because just being able to inspire change in even one person is monumental.
Let's move to scenario two. A student has been known to be especially shy. So when in certain situations or when volunteer opportunities come up, they physically can't bring themselves to do it. What would you tell the student to help them build up the courage so they can connect with their community better? Um, you know, for me, I wish I was kind of shy till I really got to high school, because I feel like high school is like an environment where like you can just kind of like not like like you can be yourself, but for high school there's a lot more opportunities that are just available for you to just express yourself there. Like there's clubs for everyone, there's sports for everyone, and there's always more being added every year where you can like uh be yourself there with other people who also enjoy it, so you could become less shy there. And there's like so many events during the school year where you can just show up and just be a part of everything.
I would advise the student to I would advise them to try it because you can't be so sure that you won't like it unless you actually go through it. And if you try it and end up not liking it, then you know for the next time to avoid that opportunity. But if you end up liking it, then you might have discovered a new interest.
That's exactly what I was thinking, actually. Um, it it's definitely very intimidating, especially when you haven't done it before, you know. But I think that once you experience it once, you realize, hey, these people aren't judging me. That if any, they're grateful for my help, and that I think it just takes one time to sort of make you realize that these people aren't out to get me. They're just people. They're not gonna attack you.
Yeah, I would agree. I would probably just tell them to maybe like set like a weekly goal, like do one new thing this week, meet one new person, learn something about one person that you didn't know before, uh say hi to somebody new, or like go to the football game this week, or you know there's a new club, let's go to there, or this club's after school today, let me go try it, stuff like that.
It's definitely hard, but you do have to push yourself at least a little bit because you can't remain stagnant in that position. Because even though it may be very hard, I think that once you take that first step, it'll be a lot easier to take more steps.
I agree. Like you have to start walking before you can run. So
Yep.
Little improvement can it grows exponentially. It's not just like little things will grow into bigger things.
scenario 3, a student who studies really hard receives an 80 on a test, discovers another student cheating using AI, and gets 100. This discourages the student from continuing to try hard, and their grades start to slip. What advice would you give to the student? I think I would just tell them, even though they got 100, your 80 is worth a lot more than that 100. And then if you get 100 next time, your 100 is worth more than that 100, because you put your work into it, not just clicking a few buttons and getting it done. You probably studied, worked hard, so your 80 shows how hard you worked, not how easy you took a shortcut.
They're 80. To the student that gets an 80, they have more integrity than the student that used assistance to get 100. So although the student that cheated has higher grades, the student that didn't cheat is overall just like a stronger and better student.
I absolutely agree. I think that school teaches you to think critically. And if you're actively avoiding it, then what is the point, The student using AI, I mean, they may be getting a higher grade, but ultimately in the long run, they're actually behind because they didn't absorb the knowledge that you did in the same amount of time.
Yeah, I would agree, because like if that person doesn't study, and then there's that one test where they can't use AI, they're not gonna know anything. But like cheating, taking like shortcuts, like really doesn't get you far. Unless you're on a road trip, take the shortcut. Obviously,
that'd be cool.
Are you the I need to beat the GPS type of person?
Yeah, 100%. If it says 9:18, I'm there at 9:17.
Yeah.
Still safe. Not, but I would say like like cheating in general just doesn't get you far. Like using your resources better. You know, you got to use stuff that teaches you how to learn, not just something that gives you the answer.
The costs as well of getting caught is also a lot, you know? I mean, I've never used AI, so I wouldn't know, but
Lies.
hey,
We've all done it once,
no.
maybe twice.
I swear I haven't. I swear. But hypothetically, if you were to use AI,
Just hypothetically.
yeah, just hypothetically, I'd never do it. But the punishments that you'd probably receive that I have that I have no experience with. I'm saying it like I'm sarcastic, but I'm really not. You might get some repercussion by the teacher. You know, you might get a 0 on the test.
Are we speaking from experience?
No
Hey,
experience.
Aiden is trying to catch you slipping over here.
No experience. No
Okay.
experience.
We'll believe you.
No.
I believe you.
Yeah. Nice to have you on my side.
Yeah, I got you.
Since we discussed about values and whatnot, for me, I feel like collaborating, like teamwork, and words similar to that stand out the most to me. So for me, I would pick strive to build mutual beneficial partnerships with families and community members. As like even right now, we're all talking, we're all building a partnership and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I just think like being able to know people and like know their story is beneficial. Like you can learn a lesson from them. You could just learn generally from them. Like maybe like the one time you're partnered with somebody, they're a little bit smarter than you, and then you ask them for help and you learn something new. Or maybe you're the person that's smarter or like a little bit more well known in the subject. You help somebody else. It's mutual. You can learn something from somebody and they can learn something from you.
Yeah. The one right after that I chose, which was demonstrate integrity, respect, compassion, and empathy in all we do. I think that this quote is, while it is a bit broad, I will say, I think that specifically saying in all we do is very important because having integrity, respect, those aren't things that I think that you should do half-heartedly. I think it's something that you have to make an active effort towards, something that you have to think about every day.
I chose number 2, provide a physically, socially, and emotionally safe collaborative learning and working environment. Ties back to what I said in the beginning. If you are like respectful to your partners and the teams and groups you work with, then you're gonna be able to get your job done like efficiently and safely and like fast, which is good for the most part.
Would you say you probably need like number 4 to have number 2, you think?
Yeah, I feel like all these core values they're kind of like tied to each other, but they just go into more description of like a certain thing.
Absolutely impressed with all 3 of you. I think you guys have taught me a lot today about yourselves and how to move forward in collaborating with people, personalizing with people, and creating core values, not only in your work life, school life, and personal life. Does anybody have any last words?
Hopefully not our last words.
Not your last words, but for the day. Or for the podcast for now. We're definitely going to bring you back, all you back.
All of this stuff's important. It's how you get by in life, you know. You never stop learning, and especially about like the way you talk to people, like how you talk, the way you present yourself. That's something that's always changing.
Just like what Aiden said, you do never stop learning. Like online, I see like today I was this years old and I learned this. And I'd say you can learn from anybody, no matter their like status or position. Like you could learn from a rich person, you can learn from a homeless person. They still like wisdom is wisdom, no matter who it's coming from.
I different life experiences can teach you different things.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Took the words right out of my mouth. The being able to treat others with dignity and being able to help others, even if you may disagree a little bit with them. I think these are all the making of a good learner, maybe even the portrait of a learner. And I think that taking a step every day to try and make not just school, but maybe even the world a better place by trying to be a good person, trying to uphold these values. Even if you fail one day, you still got the next day and the next one after that.
There you go. You fall down, you get back up again. Beautiful words, greatly said. I think you guys are definitely living your core values. Even if you don't realize it, you are definitely living your core values, and it translates into what being a portrait of a learner is. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Aiden, thank you for being my my host for today. You didn't know you were going to take on that role, but you wore that hat proudly, and you did an amazing job. Sean, thank you so much for your insight. Allison, thank you so much for your insight. Senior, junior, freshman, all different worlds, and brought incredible values to the table. This is Park and Listen. We are going to see you guys next time. I go by Michael, your tech services help desk guy. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Hyde Park Central School District's Park and Listen can be available on YouTube by going to the HPCSD publicity page. We also will be driving this communication through Parent Square. Subscribe and listen. Subscribe and listen.